According to the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, all countries have an obligation to observe certain basic human rights standards in their prisons. Standards regarding the conditions of detention must be observed regardless of a state party's level of development. The UN demands a minimum floor space and cubic content of air for each prisoner, adequate sanitary facilities, clothing which shall by in no manner degrading or humiliating, provision of a separate bed, and provision of food of nutritional value adequate for health and strength. I decide to go around and check how far these standards are being met in this prison. The prison administration is supposed to provide inmates with food of wholesome quality. More than 1 cedi 80 pesos is needed to provide this kind of meal for inmates. For years, prisoners have been fed on 1 cedi 80 pesos daily. Director General of the Ghana Prison Service, Emmanuel Ajato, says this amount is woefully inadequate. Until all these things are done, inmates will continue drinking watery porridge without sugar and either eat their famous gari, which goes with a kind of colored water mixed with palm oil, supposed to be palm nut soup, or banku, which goes with what I would describe as improvised groundnut soup. For first-hand information, the inmates, together with their officers, agreed to lead me to their places of convenience. The stench is extremely unbearable.
Okay, so I have been here for just a few hours. The congestion is just too much, and as you can hear the background, they are not very happy. So anytime they see people like us around, they will want to tell their stories.
I am struggling to breathe as a result of the stench and heat here, all because I am a first-time visitor. I wonder what asthma patients here go through. The remand population as of today is 625, and there are only 4 toilets here. Unfortunately,
the judicial and prison system was brought to a standstill yesterday when our colleague Seth Kwame Boateng premiered his documentary, Left to Rots. Before the premiere, he was here on the show to seek your support and, of course, your eyeballs. Now, he returns this morning to tell us how it all went. We'll let you know what key players in the judicial system think of Left to Rots. Seth Kwame Boateng, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm blessed. Yourself?
I am blessed. You sound tired, look exhausted and everything.
I'm very, very tired. It's not been easy for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Running up and down, trying to organize this event, getting all the dignitaries to come. It wasn't easy, but God saw us through. So yeah, we are back.
Congratulations.
I'm grateful.
Because yesterday was amazing. Yeah. There were great personalities. We're seeing the pictures of the Chief Justice was there. She never misses anything that you produce now. You know, like if you want to get through the Chief Justice, contact Seth Kwame Boateng. But the Deputy Minister of Interior was there as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about the people who graced the occasion.
We had a number of people from the U.S. State Department. We had the people from Malaysia Embassy. UK sent a rep.
Okay.
Cuba, they were plenty. I'm unable to mention all their names. We had Council of State members, the clergy, top hierarchy of the police service, as the prisons as well. Then SHRAJ, then senior GBA Ghana Bar Association members, Uncle Samo Kujeto.
Yeah. Nice.
It was amazing seeing all of them, and I'm so grateful to God. And I really thank them for making it.
Have you seen yourself, you know, with the Chief Justice? That's Kwame Boateng and the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. You know, like you can't get close, but he gets to even touch. Charlie,
yeah,
you are blessed
and highly favored. God has been good, you know.
It's true.
God, and it's a teamwork. We are doing this together. We are in this together, and. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do more.
Yeah. I know that you are all exhausted and everything. So even if I said, tell us what you said there yesterday. You would not remember. So
Exactly.
here we go. We want to see it.
After watching the second one, I'm not too sure whether the judiciary is to blame for all the difficulties that we have. But I think that it's becoming more and more clear that in the long run, the buck stops at the judiciary. And we are the protectors and defenders of all, including remandees. And I know how judges are. They are sometimes caught between a rock and a hard place. Should I discharge or shouldn't I discharge? If I discharge, is the police not going to rearrest and put the person before another judge? And then this case that I have in my hand is murder. I haven't had the opportunity to look at the bill of indictment yet. So we can't really, at this point in time, say with conviction what the likelihood of success is. Oh, it is robbery. And there's been a rape. So to tell you our work is very, very difficult. But as we watched Bobby said Boating's second part of Locked and Forgotten, I began to think that.
That's our Chief Justice right there. Said, do you remember she said all the things she said?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
This very, I think I had entered the auditorium, so I was listening to the speeches.
Yeah.
So I heard what she said, but in my case, I don't know what I said.
I know. But this is a chain, because we know that even for the Chief Justice, it's like the bar stops with her, because it's the courts that will either remand you or, sentence you and take you to the prison. But what did the police also say? Because they have got, if you ask me, a lot more work to do.
So they told us they have started doing something. Now, if you are an officer and you have to go on leave or go on transfer or peacekeeping mission, and you have people or suspect in your as in you have their dockets that you are pursuing their case, you have to write to them. You have to fill a form.
Okay.
Tell them where you've got into.
Okay.
If you've not finished the process, they will not let you go. So it's one step, one of the steps they are taking.
So why wouldn't they say that, leave us a handing over note, tell us where you've gotten to? Because if I am going for peacekeeping, and I know that a lot of the officers like to go because I don't know whatever it is that is there, whether it's the money or the experience, I will speed up and not finish the work properly.
Yeah,
anyhow.
so their superiors are supposed to supervise. They are supposed to scrutinize their work. They are supposed to scrutinize their work, but they don't do that. They don't do that. So the problem is also from their superiors. If they were doing that, you understand, they were checking that, okay, so you were handling A, B, C, D. You've gotten to this point. So if you want to go, your notes suggest that you fridge here, so the next person should take you from this. They don't do that. And the administration is bent on ensuring they now stick to the rules.
Okay.
So the IGP has given the Legal and Prosecution Unit the power to take action against officers who will decide to go against this very
So clear your
directive.
desk before you proceed on
Exactly.
any travel or anything like that.
And if you are handling a case and you go on retirement, you'll be called to come and help. The fact that you have retired doesn't mean you will not be needed. You'll be called back to come and help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are a number of interventions they've also activated to fix this problem.
There's this curious issue of some of the judges who also leave with some of the judgment that they've written but do not get the opportunity to deliver in the court.
So for example, the Chief Justice has told me to let the prison service write to her. She's going to dispatch judges immediately to go and get those cases heard again, and fast track the process. Yeah, and she has told me that should not be the norm, that you live without living and going with your judgment. It's not done. So she wonders why they are doing that. You know, I will tell you this: they are really afraid of that woman. They revere that woman.
She's powerful.
Yeah, she's powerful.
I think she's the most powerful woman in Ghana.
Yeah,
she's the most powerful woman in Ghana. She's got, and I think that she executes her responsibilities also really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
She knows her stuff. I'm telling you, she knows everything going on.
Yeah.
When you sit to the Chief Justice and you go with an issue, you mention this and she'll tell you, I'm aware, and I have even written to them, or I have received letters from so and so, and I'm dealing with the issue.
She's an amazing person. Yeah. I'll ask for one favor from you, but I won't say it on there because somebody will steal my idea. Okay. We know that the Interior Ministry has a bigger responsibility now with the President's statement recently. We know that all the agencies, the security agencies, are under them, and that's why I'm excited that the Deputy Interior Minister James Algaga was present. What did he say?
So he told us that he's realized the problem is from the police, and henceforth they are not going to sit down and allow this to continue. They are going to take action against the police, and in fact they are going to hold a meeting very soon and discuss this very issue with them. They can't look on for this to continue, the human rights abuses in the prison, and they also need corporate Ghana to help. You know, we have been speaking about Project Fiase, raising funds to support the prison service. They need people on board. We have to really help them, because Mama V, you don't know when you may end up there. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, somebody may be driving this morning, may accidentally hit somebody.
God forbid, though.
God forbid. The person, again, God forbid, may die. You'll be arrested, you'll be sent to court, and you will have to prove that you did not intentionally kill the person. So between the time you are arrested and the time you have to prove that you did not intentionally kill the person, you have spent years in prison.
You'll be put on remand.
Yes.
And you'll be eating the kind of foods that we see in this documentary. So we'll listen to Mr. James Algaga, the Deputy Interior Minister, as he delivered his speech at the premiere of Left to Rot yesterday.
At our own level, there are agencies under the Ministry of the Interior, and so when we're ready, we would send out the invitations and they would all respond. So that the idea is to put some fear into officers who have the tendency to misconduct themselves. You saw from the documentary how officers deliberately decided to punish suspects without any just cause. We believe strongly that officers who behave in that manner should be brought to book and dealt with appropriately. So we're going to have a discussion, and the conversation would center around enforcing the regulations strictly. The regulations are already there, but we'll be encouraging of course, heads of the agencies, the IGP and others, to strictly enforce their regulations to serve as a deterrent to, officers who would want to misconduct themselves in ways that are unacceptable for purposes of justice administration.
All right, so that's Mr. James Algaga. But let's talk about the mood there yesterday. As the tape was rolling,
I kept hearing, ooh, ooh, and some were crying, especially when they saw where the cells, where they sleep, and the kind of food they eat.
And the sardine, the description of...
They didn't want to believe. They thought it was a movie, a staged one. You understand? But we were talking about something happening even now. The food they eat. Maybe one of these I'll take you there to try.
Charlie,
you may want to. Oh, you try.
As in try the food?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Have you tried it? Have you?
No, I want you to go and taste.
No,
especially you don't like sugar, so their cocoa is without sugar.
I will never be able to do.
Yeah.
Never.
We were shocked. And when I mentioned for example, Kumasi prisons, their place of convenience, that 625 people having to share two. and how some are dying.
Wow. So what would we begin to, after, you know, looking at it and feeling all the emotions, when would we begin to see something really change? Because after locked and forgotten, a lot of people were hopeful, and now there's left to rot.
Yeah. Chief Justice said it yesterday that they are going back to the drawing table. Yeah, they are going back, and she's going to sit with her people and all the stakeholders. And she was emphatic, we have to fix this. So we are going back to the drawing table, see where we have not really been able to handle very well. And also, she told us that the way forward, as has happened in Sawam prison, they built this remand court, and it has really helped. So they are going to replicate this in all the regions. Yesterday, she spoke about that every region, like every regional central prison, is going to have a permanent remand court, as we have in the Sunyane prison. And I have done a dissertation on this, and I made all these recommendations.
Yeah,
I recommended that the way out is to have a permanent remand court in the major prisons. We need that. Again, I had talked about the fact that doctors don't like going to the prison. They are supposed to work in the prison, but anytime they are posted, they refuse to go.
But for an environment
exactly,
like that,
because of the conditions. So the way out, again, is to have a clinic outside the prison, not inside, outside the prison. For
it could even, if you take someone, for instance, it could just be opposite
exactly
the prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we have something like this, doctors will be willing to go and help. Yeah. So I think God will help. The problem will be fixed.
Charlie, but we have men on the ground. I mean, God puts, like God led you to do this story. He didn't come and do the story for you. I think it's just like the big people we have who are sitting in with all the authority, like you do their job for them. This is like cool job, Okay, let me read this message on WhatsApp. This one says, from Kobe, this journalist deserves to be praised. The problem most is caused by the policemen and the inspectors. That's where the bribery begins for injustices. Indeed, money now talk in our courts, especially in the rural areas. Prison and cells is portrayed as punishment. Lord have mercy on the police personnel. And how about the police prosecution team? I mean, what's the message there?
No, I think they're also going to meet. That didn't come up yesterday, but I'm picking information that they're also going to meet because, again, the top hierarchy of the police service can't also allow this to continue. And we had their director of prosecution and legal affairs, ACP Tebri, say that this can't continue. This can't continue, and they have warned their people that they will take action against if you deliberately delay a case. They will deal with you. So they've sent them this warning, and I think they will meet and firm up issues on this very one.
Seth, you've been around a lot. You've gone to almost all the prisons that we have in our country. We see the kind of prisons that exist elsewhere. Talk about Europe and in America. If you haven't seen, I'm sure you've seen in the movies, in some of the series. Do you think that we will ever get to the point where we have proper correctional facility and not, like the jungle style of prisons that we have in Ghana?
Yeah. Only if we decide as a nation to invest in the prison service. Last time we heard they were giving only 7 million out of the, was it 47 million or whatever budget they sent? 7 million. And we have 47 prison installations in this country. Is it 47 or 43 installations in this country? And you expect them to share 7 million or so? They have to buy fuel, buy food for them, pay bills. Can they use this money to build another prison? No, unless we decide as a nation to invest. Otherwise, I'm sorry, we may not get to that point.
I'm just thinking that around this time, the campaign is on. It's the season.
Yeah.
We should get the political parties to tell us what they would do to change the prisons.
Exactly. I think it's correct. I think you can start, Mavi. You can start from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let them tell us. Yes, let them tell us.
Because nobody talks about the prisons. Like, they don't talk
and
about
they vote.
it. We don't
the prisoners
know.
vote.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's true.
We should know that there are plans for the prisons, because anybody could end up there. I mean, their politicians also even end up there. Yes,
the president, in the documentary, the president said it, that he thinks it's about time politicians paid attention to the prison, because, and he said, especially my ministers who are here, I'm telling you, we have to.
Causing financial loss to the states.
We have to fix this problem. So that, don't worry, it's in the documentary.
Okay, so somebody sends me my final question to you. Abla, if it's a wrap, when are you going to show the whole story on your station?
We are starting on Monday, next week Monday. Yeah, we start showing
Monday.
So next week, Monday, Tuesday, we do the first two. Then the following week we do Monday, Tuesday, then we finish.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Just when I was wrapping up, I see that a lot more messages are trickling in. So let me read a few. Slavery still exists in several ways. God save Ghanaian prisoners. This one says, I can't hold my tears after watching aspects of the video. Why Ghana? Do we have leaders at all? Why should we treat our people this way? The most painful thing is that some of our leaders are more corrupt, criminal than some of these guys in prison. This one says, if you are a complainant and you don't have money to transport a criminal, the policeman will never go. I have a similar problem like that. If you don't give them money, they will be reluctant in doing the right thing. Emmanuel from Bia sending us that message. This one says, I strongly suggest one of the way forward is to punish those policemen who, for one reason or the other, leave innocent souls to rot. And that's from Mark. This one says, congratulations. Manasseh should learn from you then. I don't know what do you mean by this. This message says, okay, so when this person asked when we're going to show, and he says, what time on JoyNews? It's 6:30, right?
It's 6:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday.
6:30 Monday, Tuesday. All right, Kwame. Charlie, anytime you come, I mean, the story is really, really good, but it's so real, and like it leaves you thinking, it leaves you reflecting. Like the porridge, I've got the soup on my mind. The porridge is still on my mind, and I can never forget the eba.
Yeah,
you know, like what do you think every Ghanaian who watches the documentary, what should we be doing? Because I feel that we can also begin to put pressure on our leaders.
Yes, we have to ask them, as you said, to tell us their plans for the prisons. You understand? And we should invest. That's what I want. Because you may end up there, one day. May God forbid, anyway. But you see, Mama Viado, I can't talk much. I'm so passionate about this. Why? Yes, not all of them are criminals. Not all of them. Some are there because they accidentally knocked somebody down. Somebody is owing for which reason he's there. Is this person a criminal?
But even if they were, and some of them are, do we want to correct what they've done?
Yeah, you don't.
Or we want to sentence them, like hang them like that.
Yeah, that should not be the way.
Yeah. But from Locked and Forgotten, there were some joyful moment as well. This woman in this documentary who is singing.
Yeah, she had a mental problem. The first time I went to the Tamale prison, she had accidentally hit her pregnant daughter. She died. The daughter died. So she was arrested. Later, she asked, where am I? They said, you are in prison. What did I do? You killed your daughter. So until I went there, she had been there in prison for almost 5 years. I did the stories. She got her freedom. So I went to visit her in her hometown, Bole, and it was touching. When she saw me from afar, she stopped all she was doing and ran. Then she started singing, thanking God.
Okay, Mama, you're on TV. How about the artists? There was this guy who was doing a lot of painting.
Yeah, so he also got his freedom. He called me 2 days ago that he's been able to employ 6 people.
Wow.
And he's training a lot of young guys in his village. A lot of young guys in his village. This guy needs help. One of these days I'll come back and appeal to our viewers to help him. He's doing very well where he is. He didn't commit any offense. His father wanted him there because he had gone to the father to ask that he helps him to set up a business. If you are not ready to give him money, why do you get him arrested? You understand? And this guy is doing well, and we need to support him.
I remember there was an old man who had spent about 30 years as well.
35 years.
35.
The 93-year-old man, yeah, he has spent 35 years in prison.
He also got his freedom.
Yes,
right?
he's out. He's also out. I went to see him in his village, and he looks stronger than I saw him in the prison. Very, very strong now.
Abla reminds me that there was a teacher who was teaching in the prison as well.
Yeah, in his own prison there's a teacher. He is still there. He has been convicted.
Okay.
Yeah, he has been convicted. I've forgotten the number of years he's serving. He was a teacher and he was imprisoned. So he decided not to let that go waste. So he's teaching the people there.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got somebody wants you to call. No name, but yes, he will call you. Okay. There's somebody else who says tell Mama V, tell Kwame I want to be his friend and I need his telephone number. Someone from Wali Wali. Someone, let's start from Facebook. He's very present on Facebook, said Kwame Boateng. So look for him and request to be his friend. All those
who want my number should get in touch with me on Facebook.
Yeah, okay. This one says this is the kind of documentary that we want. Okay, Abdullah Gurundo sending us that message. This one says, can we invest in building private prison facilities in Ghana? I was thinking about that.
I think it's doable.
Yeah, but I think the investor will be thinking about how do I get my money back?
That's the issue.
Okay, so I know lots of messages here. Kudos to Seth Kwame. More messages here, but on behalf of Seth Kwame Boateng, I acknowledge receipts of the message and all the kudos. On JNI Interactive later this morning with Dennis, we'll read a lot more of the messages. And for those of you who want Seth Kwame Boateng to get in touch with you, I'm going to forward the numbers to him to do so. We hope that, like you want to help in the big way. Kwame, Charlie. May God continue to bless you.
God is good.
May you get some more cash.
Amen.
Before next week, you know.
Because I need to go back and help some of the people who have been released. Seriously, anytime I visit them,
Abla says you should pay tithes, not to the church, to the team. When it comes, remember, let
me go and give it to them.
No, you give God and you come and give us.
Yeah.
This one is not to the prison slab. This one is to you for the job.
Those who are out there, those who have been discharged, they don't even have places to sleep, and we need to help them.
But we're also doing the work. Okay. That kind of thing. But God bless you.
Thank you.
I mean, and please link me to the Chief Justice. Like I can clean her shoes or something. Anything for her. Thank you so much, Seth. Until we see the full documentary here on Joy News, it's a wrap for now. Stay with us. We've got talk coming up next. But it's bye-bye from the award-winning Seth Kwame Boateng. He's a Journalist of the Year, by the way.